First weekend of autumn and the NFL is in full swing as off we go. A guy coming off a career high in rushing yards last year. Here's Aaron Jones. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Love now. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. And you look at this Saints defense. And they come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Love will sneak it, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets.
Also seeing how quarterbacks are doing it nowadays on the sneak. When I played high school ball, my coach John Ford used to say, just get down behind those guys and pick up the first down. Now these guys might hesitate to count, use their vision in their eyes, and find the crease and dive for it that way.
Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Credit Brian Brzee in there to greet him and drop him for a loss.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Hey, go Fury. Check Fury.
On the counter, here's Jones. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Shaheed. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Taken down by Pete Werner. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. Cleaned it out left to Dobbs. And it's a Packers touchdown. Dobbs, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Carlson's extra point up and good. And it's now 21-0.
Packers 21, Saints nothing.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. On play action, now Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
Love going to break the huddle. Lead the Packers up here. First and 10 at their own 26. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 21-0 our score after 1.
Score, Packers 21, Saints 0.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Oh, design run for their wideout. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And that's going to be incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown to this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Off the play fake, Love rolling to his right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Packers continue to pull away here in this first half. Carlson's extra point up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. There's Chris Olave. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
It's a gain of 40. First down, New Orleans.
Now Carr. They'll get this out to Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Carr now on first down. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 6. To throw his Carr. The pass caught by Olave. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, New Orleans.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill, 33 yards. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is caught at the 5. And he gets into the end zone. We'll give him credit. They're not going to take this deficit lying down. They get too closer here on the fake extra point. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Working out of the gun. Love. This one swung out here to Jones. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Love. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Now Carr.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it.
Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It was
play.
Play fake. Here's Love. They'll roll him out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here is third and quite a ways.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A gain of 4.
Carr to throw on 2nd down.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. A 3-yard loss, 4th down now.
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board, or should I say in today's game, the Surface tablet after this drive. 3 plays, they go backwards. They look like they've gotten something going right there, but they'll have to punt the football away to end this one.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
49-yard line.
Ready. White.
Love, they go play action now.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Carr going to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Carr. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. The final shot here before half for Carr. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
This is taken at the 23. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 27-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It was Jalen Smith who worked through to make that stop.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
The Love's throw brought in by Watson.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Love. Able to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, just like last play.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to speed things up here.
Second and 10. At the Packers.
Now they'll throw with Carr. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They run with Jones on first down, but he'll struggle here just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Love's throw finds its target, Dobbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
The Packers cast a wide net last draft season to find starting receivers, and they believe they found something in Dobbs, a 4th rounder. 42 catches, over 400 yards his rookie year. Those are numbers he can build off of.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Ultra. Hey, go steal. Mega.
Now Love. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Love now. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And they're not going to get to the line. Now 2nd and 11 from the 32.
Strike. Check strike. Ultra. Go ultra.
In motion right comes Reed. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw now. Here's Love.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down.
He completes it to Olave.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And the Saints, 1st down.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd.
Here's Carr to throw.
Their 49-yard line.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Big Kenny Clark that time, pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Smith, the man in motion left. To throw, it's Carr. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Lucas Van Ness
in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position.
Love going to give this one to Jones.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
The play over before it really got started thanks to Pete Werner.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the Saints' 14-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers look like one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Carr now on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Ready?
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
New Orleans.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And oh my goodness, here's a... Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
This one swung out here to Jones.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
2nd down and 8.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Dancing to his left. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On third down, Love. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never